Hello. Are any of my viewers familiar, I wonder, with the concept of the angle of despair? Something I've heard about. The angle of despair. It's the right angle. Right angles don't exist in nature. And I guess the theory goes that when the human eye encounters a right angle, it is unsettled. Or I suppose the person whose eye it is. What's this sticking out in the camera here? Oh, right, yeah. I got a stand thing going on. We'll have to figure that out later. We'll work around it. So, this is a Lishen knife. I've been hearing good things about Lishen, right? Also, when I first heard, I think it was probably Scab saying this, I said, well, come on, this is obviously a Chinese brand. It would be Lishen, right? But no, he's American, and I don't think it's a Chinese name. And that's just me being goofy. And I saw this knife, and I'm like, wonderful. Look, it kind of almost has a sway back handle. I like the look of this spear point blade. It's got a big old choil on it, but we can forgive that. I just thought it looked really, really classy and really nice. I keep hearing good things about this maker. And certainly out of the box, we can identify that the grind is wonderful. Yeah? And, it's kind of thing. Very nice and flat and slicey, very thin behind the edge. So far, I've only used this to cut bread. But even in the cutting bread, I was annoyed by this angle here. And the great master, Tony Bowes, said that right angles do not belong on pocket knives. No, this isn't a pocket knife, but anyway. It's the same deal, yeah? So I first really became aware of this when I got the sheath. Out, and this was a brand new sheath, and it was completely flat, right? I soaked it, but I figured I'd try and wedge this in there, and it was resisting so hard. And when I pulled it, I saw that it was scraping the leather. So I'm like, well, why is that? How is that scraping the leather? And so I touched it, and I said, yikes! You know? Well, you can strike a ferro rod with that. Well, I'm kidding, obviously. But now, a knife like this, I'm going to whittle with it, right? I like to grip it in all kinds of ways. And one of those ways would be like this. And this is instantly very uncomfortable, right? It also resists going into the sheath. And even now I've wet formed the sheath, but now that's annoying because now it's wet formed to accommodate this, which actually I want to remove. I want to remove this directly. Now I understand that crisp edges are apparently something that both knife makers and knife collectors and people are into, right? Crisp edges. But my opinion is that you want a crisp edge only on places that either don't make contact at all, or you really want them to make full contact. So jimping, for example, is a kind of a crisp edge that you really want to be right on that. Yeah, your cutting apex should be the crispest edge of all, and that is definitely going to make contact. But behind that, why would you want a crisp shoulder? What does that actually do for your cutting? Having crisp shoulders. Having a crisp plunge grind versus a swoopier plunge grind. What does that actually do? Well, a really harsh plunge grind, like you see on some of the Bark River ones, the newer terrible ones, that it's just like a right angle in there. Well, that's just making a big old stress riser. That's a break easy feature. So, yeah, really, I'm very keen on this knife. I did notice one more thing, fit and finish wise. I think we're going to have to come to the window, and even then it could be tricky. Let me see if I zoom. See that gap? Ooh-wee, just a little gap there. Now that is a little gap between a piece of, I guess, G10, that liner there, and AEBL steel, which is very rust resistant. So that's not a big problem. And you could be forgiven for, picking this knife up at the shop and saying, this thing's perfect, I'm taking it. And then getting home and then realizing that was, or indeed never even seeing that it was there in your whole life. Practically invisible. However, it is a gap, and that's not good. It could be filled with epoxy resin, and I guess that's probably what I'm going to have to do now, because otherwise it's going to annoy me. But that's additional work, and also chamfering these angles of despair here is going to be additional work. But I will do that on the Tormek very carefully, and put it on the wheel like this, right over to the corner there, and I'll take them off, and I'll have it to my preference. Of course, someone might like that chamfer to be steeper. Someone might like it to be. Someone might actually just prefer this. Although I can't imagine why, except visually. So, well, come this far, I was thinking, okay, I could make a whole video and, show the grinding that I'm going to do and all that stuff. But whatever, it's not even that interesting. I'm sure that people will be more interested to see how this knife whittles on. Oh, here we go. Whittles on a piece of seasoned oak that's had a bit of a soak. I'm steering around a corner that is transitioning me into working against the grain. Yeah, okay, now it doesn't want to do it. But I mean, the fact that it did it that one time bodes well. Yeah, now this is top notch. Top notch. Excuse the mess. Now, we're no longer on the factory edge, but we haven't done a lot of work either. Well, I mean, I think it's fair to say we're still on the factory edge. It's just not the out-of-the-box factory edge. But it is the factory edge. Humid conditions. I haven't been making it all the way down with any of my knives to complete this cut without moving the left hand. And we're making it most of the way there. I don't think it's going to do it. But, oh, that was operator error. I just thought I made it. Let's try that again. Let's try that again. That is, okay, this paper towel even feels damp to the touch. I think that makes it harder to make this cut. Okay. I mean, that's really, really good. Really, really good. What else can I cut? Well, here's an egg that's gone off. Let's see whether I can carve on an egg that has gone off. If it breaks, the whole house is going to stink. Well, it's a very preliminary review of this knife, but I feel that it is a very good knife. Can recommend looking into this guy. Believe the hype. He makes good knives. Thanks for watching.